In this video, I want to talk about how it's simpler than we think, but it's harder than we expect. The reason I say that is because when I first started working a lot, I honestly just never even thought about it. Like, I never even thought about working all the hours of most of my days for consecutive days at a time in order to get me to where I want to go. And I think that's because I didn't know it was so simple, and it's almost like I wanted someone to kind of give me that permission in order to work that hard with, sorry, I was at a stoplight, I couldn't think, in order to work that hard within my jobs. But once I realized, it's a simple thing to work a lot, but it isn't easy. It's a simple thing to work your job and a side hustle, but it isn't easy. And so that's what I'm saying is I really feel like the process of working really hard at something and saving that money and investing it into your future is very simple. It's a very simple process, but it's harder than we expected. Like if I just tell you, okay, work 80 hours a week for the next 10 years of your life, and then live way below your means, and then invest the difference in increasing your income and increasing your skills so that you can make more money. Like, that's pretty simple. It's not exactly a complicated concept, but simple and easy are not the same thing, and I think I learned once I started to work a lot after I felt like I'd given myself permission to work a lot of hours, I was like, oh, this really isn't that hard. And the thing is that it's not hard in the way that it takes a lot of brain power or in the way that you have to be unconventional. It's hard in the way that you do the same things every day, most days, for hundreds of days in a row, for years at a time, without seeing the exact result that you're working for, and with everyone you know telling you that you should probably slow down, And I think that if you're someone who's easily influenced or someone who really values other people's opinion or take what other people say into consideration very easily, I don't think this is the path for you, because I need some eye drops bad. But because everyone you know is going to tell you, like, take a day off, why do you work so hard, money is not everything, you shouldn't sacrifice so much sleep, you're young, enjoy your youth, you'll have all the time in the world to make money when you're older, like all this stuff. And the hard part about neglecting or ignoring those messages is that what they're saying is technically true, and it's usually coming from a place of love. So it's like you don't want to overly reject what they're saying because then it'll be rude, but you almost have to wholeheartedly reject it, because if you let those voices get in your head, you'll start to hear them as your own. Because you'll kind of go against your own purpose and why you're doing it. And when you do get tired or you do sacrifice sleep over and over and over again, and you're at work and something comes up that's difficult or stressful, instead of hearing that normal voice that you have to your determination and your goals, you might start to hear their voices like, why am I doing this? I should just take a day off. I'm young. I deserve time off or whatever. And for me, I think that's the most dangerous part, because I'm not someone who's easily influenced by other people's opinions regarding what I should do with my life and how I should live it. But I do kind of make it a point to just directly tell whoever's telling me that, listen, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm going to do, and I get it that you don't get it, and I don't expect you to understand, but that's not my perspective, and I don't want to hear that kind of stuff, because it's going going to slow me down if it infiltrates my thought process. And it's almost like the crabs in the bucket thing, but I don't think people notice that they're doing it. I don't think that the people who love you or your family or your friends realize that they're encouraging you to act out a behavior that decreases how likely it is for you to achieve your goals. And I think if people did know that, and they knew how important your goals were to you, they wouldn't say things like that. But I think the main driver behind people making those kind of comments is that it's just extremely abnormal to work really hard. And like, it's just so rare, especially to work really hard, have competence, and then also be disciplined enough to not spend a lot of money and invest that money into your future without, letting multiple forms of your life also collapse under it. But you have to realize that if you're going to walk a path less charted, most of the people you know, or most of the people that love you, aren't going to agree with that path because they've never seen anybody else walk it. And because of that, it makes them feel uncomfortable. And that's fine. And it doesn't make them bad people, and it doesn't make them your enemies. There's nothing you have to get upset with them for. It's just something you have to accept. Like, people are going to tell you to slow down. People are going to ask you, why are you working so hard? Why are you putting in so much effort? It's not that important. Like, money's not everything. Like, give yourself some time off, have some fun, celebrate your life. I hear all this stuff all the time by people I know. It's usually older people, and I know that they have my best interest in heart. But if they knew how important it was for me to accomplish my goals, they wouldn't say things like that. And that's why I don't take it personal. Because I'm not going to sit there and explain it to someone and try to convince another person my thought process so that they can also agree with why I'm doing what I'm doing. They don't have to agree, and they probably never will understand. Because I'm trying to be someone in the 99th percentile. And in order to become a 99th percentile, you have to be willing to do what only 1% of the population is willing to do. And that means sacrificing things that 99% of people aren't willing to sacrifice. That means putting in more effort than 99% of people are willing to put in. That means being more consistent than 99% of people. That means being more disciplined than 99% of people. And I don't think that everyone quite understands that. And that's why it's so difficult. I can tell you right now, 99% of the population will not work 80 hours a week. Not even close. And the people who do work 80 hours a week, most of them do it seasonally. And give up after a while. And I'm going to tell you right now too, 99% of the population won't work 80 hours a week and live way below their means and invest their surplus into increasing their skills to make more money and be patient. It's just not happening. Most people do not try that hard at anything in their life. And I think a lot of people get caught up in what their job or their title looks like instead of maxing out their skills and their income in whichever opportunity vehicle they've placed themselves in. Like, don't worry about how your job description sounds. Worry about how much money you're actually making and how much money that you're able to put away and keep each month. Especially if you're young like me. And I think a lot of people my age are worried about a job title and the way that it sounds. It's like, oh, I work a sales job. Oh, I work, I'm in college to do this. And once I graduate, I'll be making this much. And it's like, if you get distracted and you start feeling pulled in these other directions, you just have to say no. It's been my experience that one of my biggest strengths is that I can just say no to things, and it doesn't bother me. Like, I don't feel compelled to go to college. I don't feel compelled to work a job that someone else has. I don't feel compelled to do the things that other people are doing. I have my path. chosen my path. I know my direction, and I'm not changing it for anybody or anything. And I'm extremely stubborn about it, and that's fine. That's my personality. It's my life, and I can live it however I choose to live it. But I think that if you take rejection or one-off comments too personally, it will allow you to get thrown off your track and question why you're doing what you're doing, because everyone you know is questioning it and doubting it. But you just have to ignore them. You just have to say no. Alright guys, that's another one for today. It's simpler than you think, but harder. It takes longer than you expect, and it's harder than you expect. I don't even know if I said that right, but anyways, until tomorrow, if there's anything you want to see, let me know in the comments and I'll drop it.